Hollywood Big Boss here today, and I am here with leader, Superbug. Nice to have you here.
Nice to be here.
Now, what was your dueling experience like before PDL?
Well, it was pretty boring, really. Not very many people came to my actual league to duel, and they just came from yours to duel, and that was it. Except for the few people that had in my actual league, there was only like 3 or 4. Now there's like a lot more in yours. Now that I'm part of yours, there's like 6 to 10 people.
Now, with your league, when we initially started out, you had your separate league. PDL had jumped into the fold, and our main enemies at the time were the Pontiac League of Duelists. But before I get to that, did you by chance have any tournament experience before you got into PDL and your league?
Well, with my tournaments, I lost the titles pretty quick because back then I didn't have very many good cards or very good strategies at all to deal with. Because back then, people dueled the types, like the monster types.
Insect,
yeah.
Spellcaster, zombie, all that stuff.
Now it's like a lot more
diverse.
Yeah.
But anyway, next order of business is the Pontiac League of Duelists. Now, when PDL formed, we pretty much, along with you, were able to literally run roughshod all over them, and that was pretty good. But then as time went on, we were pretty much at each other's throats a lot more. So would you care to elaborate on that?
Well, I think we were at each other's throats because there was no one else to challenge, no other leagues to take down, and when that happens, people just duel amongst themselves, and people start to have a little bit of a bad time between the groups.
Now, there was a real big problem between yourself and Sigma V in Pontiac Duelist League. Now, as you know, Sigma V is no longer a part of PDL because of his actions, but how did you feel about certain members of our league trying to just go after you for pretty much the reason that you were there?
Well, I can tell you I didn't like it very much, but it's really just a game. I mean, you can't get too upset about it unless you're gonna, base your entire existence off of trying to beat everybody else.
Anyway, out of curiosity, what was your favorite card when you first started dueling?
Fiber Jar.
And has that changed?
No.
Nope. Fiber Jar's still your favorite
yeah.
card? Could you give a reason why you've liked that card so much?
Well, I used to own it a long time when I had the old league, but I traded it off, and I really thought I shouldn't have done it ever since. So I've been trying to work with other people, and I finally got it back. I got a new one from you, and that was pretty cool. I got it again.
Now, when you first got involved with PDL after the Pontiac League of Duelists situation was resolved, that was about October, what did you think of our Duelist League having its own championship and having people challenging for it?
Well, it was a lot more organized than mine was, and it kind of interested me a little bit. And when I actually got accepted, I was thinking I was going to actually have a lot of fun, and I still am.
Now, what was your opinion on Brian and myself pretty much back in the day? We eventually began to see you as kind of a threat to our power with what you were doing. So we decided that we needed to resolve this situation for the betterment of both sides. So, naturally, you didn't allow me to duel in the league because we were having such hatred towards each other that Brian was the one who went in and won all 6 of your championships from you. He won the Master, Knights, Intermediate, Sword, Shield, and Beginner titles. On the 10th of March, PDL signed a document officially unifying those championships with our Livingston County title. Now, what was your opinion on us literally snatching away all of your championships like that?
I didn't really feel as it snatching them away. I felt like lost them fair and square, and it was actually a little bit of a relief that you weren't just going to trash them in the end. Instead, you unified them.
The NWO title, now formerly the Livingston County title, is actually that collection of our titles and yours. It's a collection of 7 different championships. And how's it feel to now again be holding that prestigious title?
Well, it brings back a lot of memories, that's for sure, of like when I first started the old league, and it's just really cool.
Now, with the Pontiac League of Duelists, your member roster was yourself, Wolfbane, you had Carol Draga, and you had Chris in your league. And I can't remember if you had the Raven, Josh Tate in your group, or...
Yeah.
But anyway, Josh never really got into PDL until this year. Now, what's your opinion of your Knights of Pontiac getting back together under the PDL banner? Granted, it's not all of them, but it's most of them. How do you feel about that?
Well, that also brings back old memories of, when we used to be under another league, and it feels a little bit good to have the group back together again.
And what do you think of your success so far coming back into PDL, winning the championships? The Raven has won the hardcore title. He still hasn't lost it since he got it in May, I believe. And your recent victory with the NWO title.
Well, I never actually thought I would win a title. I just wanted to, duel and have fun, but actually I ended up doing both, and it's pretty cool. I like it.
Now, there's a reason why I have these papers here with me, to make sure I get the dates accurate. But anyway, on June 29th of this year, 2009, you won the Pontiac Duelist League World title, and you became a world champion and the last person capable of becoming a Grand Slam champion. What was your feelings towards that?
Well, like before, it's like I love it. I mean, I actually got to win a lot for the first time in a long time, and well, that makes me want to do a lot better in the duels to come.
And what do you think of your teammates' success so far? Kiera has won the NWO title, I believe, 2 or 3 times, if I remember correctly. I think it was 3, but anyway, yeah, it was... But anyway, what do you think of her success?
Well, I never thought she'd actually win a lot. I mean, I knew she'd win some, like me, but I never actually inspected her entire deck before. I only seen the cards that she played, and to this day I don't even know which one she's dueling with now.
Now, the only 2 female duelists to have held titles were Chris and Kiera Draga. Now, what was your opinion on your Duelist League being the only one so far to turn out female duelists who have won titles in PDL?
Well, I think that should open the door for a lot more women to come in and duel and win championships too, and that'd be kind of cool, to actually have more people and have, like,
more duelists.
Yeah.
I get where you're going with that, but Chris' first title reign was actually, and her only one, was a 4-way tie with the title in Extreme Elimination 1 when I Ring of Destruction and Barrel Behind the Door, Dragon Master Knight, inflicting 14,000 damage to everyone. Now, what was your opinion on you holding the title with Sigma V and Dazankick, and then being placed in a battle royale for that title pretty much after it had been broken up like that? Anyway, continuing on from there, what was your thoughts on a 4-way split with the Livingston County Championship?
Well, it was pretty fun, and you said Chrissy ended up winning that?
Yeah, it was a 4-way tie, and she had the title for a few minutes.
That was pretty cool, because I always knew she could win a lot, but that was a pretty big win for her.
Now, until 2009, another female duelist did not hold a title. And Chrissy's reign was a disputed one. She did not hold the title by herself. However, in 2009, she won the title, Kiera Draga, and she held it for 34 days. What was your opinion on her holding the title for that great of a span?
Was that around for that one?
No, that was before you had officially gotten back into PDL.
Well, since I didn't see her duel, I can't tell you how the duel actually went, but I mean, good for her. I mean, she actually, how many times did she
She's had it twice. She's won it twice now so far, but she defended it, I believe, twice before she finally lost it. And she defeated a former world champion, I believe, the Executioner, to get it. So that was pretty huge there, that she was able to take him down that easily.
Yeah, I wish I would have been there for that one.
Yeah. Now, one thing with PDL is that pretty much the PDL members are pretty much like those who were shoved aside and said, like, we'd never win. However, we've proven them wrong time and time again, especially with the Pontiac League of Duelists when they initially tried to take us down. And then again in 2007, you were kind of on the fence there with sides, but then you finally decided to side with us.
Yeah.
So I was happy for that one.
I definitely made the best choice, though.
Then it was about 2 years that I went without seeing or hearing from you at all, which was real surprising. So.
Well, I stopped dueling for a little while and tried to get a bunch of packs together and just collect a bunch of cards before I could, come back in and with new stuff. And then at sometimes I went to my dad's, and that was for like months on end because it was the summer, And then you left because you were our senior, right? And I didn't see you then after that. Were you always dueling at the...
We were dueling at different places around town pretty much.
Oh.
But after 2007, PDL took a very severe blow. Even though were defeated finally that time, they had really done some damage. They more than cut our membership in half. But that's for another day. But anyway, PDL was almost, again, dealt a death blow this year in March, I believe it was, when Sigma V turned traitor and tried to take down the very league that he helped build up so much. However, thanks to the Executioner, that was stopped. Initially, PDL was scheduled to close down in June of this year. And after that situation, myself, Lord Anubis, and Executioner rethought it and said, why the hell should we stop? Let's continue.
Well, that would definitely be really bad if this group was shut down and everybody had to go their separate ways, because this is more than just dueling. This is like a place to just get together, and because we don't always just duel, we also talk about stuff, and it's just something to do during the summer.
It's more than that.
It's like a family.
Yeah.
And also, we are getting together also during the school year after school, and we will continue to have events throughout the year.
Are you going back to school?
No, but we're continuing to have events throughout the year.
Oh,
we're going
most
to keep
of the
going.
members, aren't they out of school now?
Most of them are, surprisingly. The only two that I believe that, actually it's 3 that are still in school, are Raven, Lord Anubis, and Executioner.
What about...
Kiera Draga graduated, and I don't know...
college?
From high school, but what about you? Did you graduate from high school yet?
Yeah,
okay.
But I heard that Kiera Dragon is going...
Yeah, she's going to Heartland.
Yeah, she was doing that quite a few months ago, I think.
Mm-hmm.
She got back, and I guess she stopped going after a while.
Heartland's in town, so it's pretty easy to set up events and such.
Does she still go?
Yeah, she's going very soon. But anyway... But she'll still be available for our events. So, yeah. But at the same time, we'll still be able to have events, have the ball rolling and everything. But let's see. Next order of business was about, I'd say, a month ago. when we ran into each other again, finally, after about a span of 2 years.
Yeah.
We were both in Pontiac Exchange, the town's pawn shop. And you pretty much came up to me and asked if I still dueled, and I said, yeah, PDL's still going strong. So what was your opinion on being invited back after everything that had happened between us, all the conflict, the animosity, and pretty much being let back in with open arms as a brother?
Well, I have to say that was very nice of you guys to do that, and meeting just in the pawn shop. I mean, I don't think there could have been any other place
that we would have met.
Because I don't go out very much until now, and now I go out and duel with you guys. Before, I just stayed at home and got on the computer, and that was it. But when I decided to go to the pawn shop and get a few games, you were there, and I decided, hey, to ask if you were still dueling. And that was pretty great to find out, because I really wanted to keep dueling after a while, and it was really great to know that you were still accepting me. What was that? Oh, yeah.
The Hall of Fame, and you being up for vote, but you didn't get any votes. So.
Well, the reason I didn't vote for myself was because I normally don't do that. If someone's going to vote for me, someone's going to vote for me, but I'm never going to vote for myself, because that's not really good sportsmanlike to me.
And I can agree there, too.
Because if you just vote for yourself, then that's a given, But, I mean, I think other people deserve it more than me, who've actually won a lot more than me and done a lot more. And I could actually care less if I get in the Hall of Fame. I mean, it would be cool, but that's not what it's about. It's just about, dueling and making friends, and sure, winning's cool and stuff, but it's just, mostly to me, it's a social thing.
And your deck strategy that you currently use. How much does that contrast from the decks that you used to use and the ones that you use now?
Well, I used to try and grasp the concept of the different types to duel with. Like, I even had a dinosaur deck once, but that never did very well.
And you used to have a deck that was about as high as the TV over there, but that didn't do you well either.
Yeah, back then I thought the more cards meant the more opportunities for me to get good moves. But now it's just, I mean, from the looks of it, my deck looks like it's just a mismatch of different cards. But at some point, there's a method to all the
madness.
Yeah.
And at the same time, though, it's leaner, it's meaner, and it's more powerful than it's ever been before. You have really stepped up your game coming back into PDL, into this competitive nature that we have, and you've done great in this environment again.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to have you back as a duelist.
I could really owe it to, like, you and some of the other people for getting me started in the first place, and for getting me back, and for helping me out with my deck, and well, I could really, I could basically base all my victories off of all that, because if you guys wouldn't have came to me and said you wanted to be in the league, I wouldn't be here. If you wouldn't have helped me out with my deck, I probably wouldn't have the cards that I have in my deck right now, and I wouldn't probably be winning as much.
Now here's a major question for you. If Sigma V was still in PDL, would you be in this Duelist League?
Well, he's really a tough guy to get along with. I mean, he's like, adds a lot of stress to
the situation.
Yeah, and I mean, I think I would be, but when he was still in, and when I was dueling against him or with him, he was always contradicting everything I was doing. And
he wouldn't let you learn from your own failures to build yourself up.
Yeah.
He tried to be too controlling and didn't really work out.
He always insulted my decks and everything. And
if I remember correctly, didn't you get into a fight with him at the high school or something? Or?
Yeah, I think that was the time that, the recent time when we were still in school. I think that was like the second time it ever became violent. And it's always been verbal violence, I don't really go for that.
Well, anyway, what do you think of the future of the Knights of Pontiac and PDL?
Well, I think, after a while, when people start to get careers and when they get families and everything, I'm pretty sure they're gonna just take the lessons they learned while being in the league and just live on their lives. But for the time being,
we're going to enjoy ourselves.
Yeah, it's really fun to be in.
Well, I'm happy to have you here once again.
Thanks.
Pontiac Duelist League and Superbug, former world champion, Grand Slam champion, Triple Crown champion, probably one of the best duelists that we have in PDL all around at the moment.
Cool.
Anyway, this is Hollywood Big Boss signing off.
I'm on a boat.